Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dragon's Library. Today we will be reviewing a new video game, High on Life, which came out on December 13th, and I'm just finally getting around to reviewing it. It was released by Squanch Games, the game design studio set up by Justin Roiland, the creator of Rick and Morty. So, is it funny or not? We'll see. High on Life is an FPS with a sci-fi comedy theme, and the story is pretty simple. After the G3 and the alien cartel invade Earth in order to harvest humanity as a living drug, quirky, the player is forced to team up with a talking gun and washed-up bounty hunter to hunt down the top members of the G3 and take back their home. High on Life plays like a first-person shooter, with the main gimmick that your guns are sentient and comment on the player's actions. This feeds into the comedic tone of the game. As expected from Justin Roiland, the game attempts to weave comedy into gameplay. Two relatively mixed results, to be honest. In addition to the shooting, High on Life mixes in platforming and puzzles using alternate trick shots of your guns and the grappling hook with your talking knife. The end result plays like some strange mix of Doom and Bioshock Infinite. The grappling hook is used to grapple onto rail lines and zip lines, like in Bioshock Infinite, which the player can slide along in combat. This gives many levels a solid momentum and a fantastic sense of movement, which the player can utilize in arenas, and even in the open levels. This is really nice, and mixes with excellent shooting. The guns all have distinct use cases and unique alternate fires, with differing levels of usefulness, I'd say. Some of them you're going to use all the time, others you're only going to use in very rare scenarios. The main gun is a standard pistol with a stun shot that pushes objects away or bounces enemies in the air. This is sort of your basic default one that you get in the tutorial. Then you have a needler ripoff with a slow-mo level, a shotgun that can fire a buzzsaw that can latch into walls and create temporary platforms, and a weird gun that launches attacking enemies at other enemies, and a special mind control one which can sort of frenzy an enemy in the general vicinity. Each gun acts as a Metroidvania-style key, in addition to its combat applications. However, unlike in a normal Metroidvania, the levels are all distinct, isolated areas that you go to from a central hub. So there's not much reason to go back to areas once you get a new gun, unless you really just want to go secret hunting. There are moments where you'll go to an older area for a new objective, but you don't really do it too often, and you go to different parts of the area, so unless you want to do a lot of backtracking for no reason, you're not going to be using them as keys to unlock those secrets. However, this is where my positive points begin to inevitable slide towards the negative. First up are the more mixed points. High on Life is aiming to be a comedy game, so the big question becomes, is it funny? And I would say it can be funny at times. Justin Roiland is a good comedy writer. The success of Rick and Morty, in addition to previous games like Accounting Plus, do make that clear. However, the problem with comedy in video games is that most video games have a gameplay loop designed to become somewhat repetitive. Most of the comedic bits from this game come out in conversations from your guns, which can be funny, but as a result also suffer from that repetition. However, to their credit, the designers seem to have accounted for this. There are massive selections of comments and conversations for different areas, between different guns, and with each individual gun and scenario. In addition, the player themselves can also adjust the frequency of the remarks to not have them dry up as quickly. This is in the options menu, and is a thing I think many other games could definitely use. In contrast, though, I got annoyed by a lot of the cutscenes. In between gameplay segments, you get trapped in your house with your sister and a washed-up bounty hunter, and they have this bantering relationship and all. But the conversations are just way too long. Like, twice as long or 3 times as long as they need to be. One of them dragged out for like over 10 minutes. I'm just like, oh my gosh, will you get on with it already? The problem is Justin Roiland's style of comedy tends to have characters ramble on, and while that can be funny for a small bit, when you want to get to the next level and you're trapped in a room with characters that will not get to the freaking point or will not just hand you the items you can leave already, it starts to get really annoying. The shooting is really good and the game is a lot of fun, so I just want to get to the next area, but the NPCs just won't shut up. However, it has nothing on my main problem, and that is the bugs. Oh my, it has been a while since I played a game this buggy. I've had animation glitches, a boss that got stuck under the floor, and another boss that glitched out and trapped me in a white void when he moved on to his final stage. That last one happened 3 times in a row, forcing me to replay the stage every time I restarted the game. And for those of you who don't know, This came out on December 13, 2022. I started playing in January, so it already had half a month's worth of patches. And it's still a bit of a mess. With all that said, we should move on to the conclusion. High on Life is a very fun game, despite my annoyed gripes. It has a unique sci-fi setting with a wet, organic undertone you don't normally see. I did find the occasional funny dialogue and characters to be well written. Is it long-winded? Yeah, very much so. Is it buggy? Yeah. And it's not that long either, 7 to 8 hours at most, even if it feels longer at times with all the dialogue. However, the great gameplay, good, excellent shooting and monster design, outlandish story, and creative ideas are definitely worth it in the end. So I would give High on Life a solid 8 out of 10. Despite my gripes, it is very fun, and I enjoyed basically everything when I wasn't trapped in a room or wasn't bugging out. If anything I describe sounds like fun, then give it a chance. Maybe you'll like it. Whew, alrighty. With all that out of the way, hey everybody, this is the announcements. So this should be coming out on probably Tuesday because I had some issues with the recording and the animations. I've got these new talking heads, these little PNGs to give a bit more life to the videos. Have some, something moving around, something changing, so it's not just a still frame around some trailer footage or gameplay footage. So I hope you guys like this. In addition, I am working on my next review. I've still got to finish going through that new Velma series. I've already started taking some notes. I should have that out on time on Wednesday, so don't worry about that. Do be aware, though, I am most likely going to rip this thing to freaking shreds. I already hate this show a lot. So we'll see if I can maintain that anger until my review. Anyway, that's basically the plan. We got Velma coming out on Wednesday. I'm hopeful I will be able to read a book in a few days and get a review out for that, so I might have a book review for Saturday. We'll see. I'll probably let you guys know when Velma's review comes out. So, yeah. Moving on from there, we have the end card. Hey, here's the subscribe orb. Head to the channel and subscribe. And also over here, you should see a playlist that YouTube, for this season. I think it has the last video in it, so it only has like 1 or 2 videos in it. And there's a video YouTuber fan, so click on those. Maybe you'll like them.